The real reason why you can't stop drinking alcohol isn't what you think. When I struggled to stop drinking for the best part of 10 years, what did I do? I blamed myself. But I did that not because I thought I was weak or I thought I was some sort of loser. I blamed myself because I believe in taking responsibility. If I've got a problem, I want to take all the blame and I want to fix it. I don't want to say, oh, it's, my parents' fault for something they did in my childhood. It was this person's fault for the way that they, I don't want to be that person. If something bad happens, I want to take responsibility and I want to fix it. But alcohol is a different beast altogether. Because whilst it was my responsibility to fix, what I didn't realize is the reason why I got stuck in the cycle that I was in wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault at all. And these are two extremely different things: responsibility and fault. You're responsible. You're responsible for fixing your drinking problem, but it isn't your fault that you got into this position. This is how you set yourself up for failure, for struggle, for fighting, and this is how you fix it. But the problem is we merge them. Society merges them. So what do I mean? Well, when I say that it wasn't my fault, what I'm talking about is that the reason why I couldn't stop drinking wasn't because I was an alcoholic. I wasn't born with some disease like everybody kept telling me. Neither was it because I had low levels of willpower, and neither was it because I had some bad childhood. I thought these things. In fact, there were times where I was convinced that this was my problem. It wasn't the drug. It wasn't anything to do with the billions of dollars that had been spent on advertising it. No, I was different to everybody else, and that's why I couldn't control my drinking. So then when I heard this label of being an alcoholic, having a disease with no known cure, actually being told that I could have been born this way before I even drank, it felt like a relief. I felt like I'd found some piece in a puzzle, like the last piece in a jigsaw puzzle, and then I'm complete. That was the missing thing. I'm sorry, but it's not true. The puzzle was already complete. I was already a whole person. There was nothing broken that needed filling in with this idea of me being the problem. If you call yourself an alcoholic and you take that approach, then good. Like, I'm not trying to point my finger and say that that's a bad thing. It's not. If that works for you, great. But how can it be my fault? Think about this. If you've read any popular stop drinking book, you'll already know this. But when you drink alcohol, let's say you tell yourself you're going to have 2 drinks and nothing else. Well, you drink those 2 drinks and then your inhibitions get lowered. So then when you originally had the idea of having 2 drinks, you drink them, and then a few more doesn't seem to feel like that big of a deal. And then, in my case, it would become a few more and a few more and a few more, and then I'd forget the whole night. So we've got something that lowers our inhibitions. It also stops us from thinking long-term. All we do is get really focused on short-term rewards, which explains why people do things like drink drive, like do things like cheat on their partners. They do unquestionable things that they'd never do without drinking. So we have this factor. Then we also have the factor that alcohol dehydrates you. It's a diuretic. So the more you drink, the more you want to drink. And then we've got the other factor that billions upon billions of dollars are spent all of the time to get you to believe that drinking this stuff is okay. In fact, last time I calculated it, it was $21 million a day that was spent on alcohol marketing. It's an absurd figure because you getting hooked on alcohol isn't a zero-sum game. Somebody makes money. And I'm not talking here about, 50 grand here, 60 grand there. I'm talking about people becoming worth hundreds of millions of dollars through poisoning you, through tricking you into believing that drinking this stuff is good for you. The lie runs so deep. So how can this be my fault? How can I be born an alcoholic when I got addicted to the most addictive drug ever created that's had all that money spent on it to warp our perception, to get us to perceive it as something that adds value in our life, and then when I can't stop drinking, it's somehow my fault? Hell no, it ain't my fault, and it isn't your fault either. You've got nothing wrong with you, and you got addicted to something that most of the adult population are addicted to. Okay, sure, there are different degrees to this, and some people may be more prone to drinking more and getting addicted faster. You might have heard this already, but given a long enough time horizon, everybody ends up drinking more over time. It's so rare that somebody ends up drinking less. And hey, somebody's going to end up commenting on this video, I'm that guy. Well, yeah, sure. I'm not saying these people are not real, but it's rare. And whilst it isn't your fault, whilst it's nothing to do with you, how you got in this position, it is 100% your responsibility to fix. Because no one's coming to save you. And that is harsh. And I'm not trying to be harsh when I say it. I'm trying to be realistic. It's 100% your responsibility to fix this. And the great thing is that you can fix it. I struggled for so long, I thought that there was no way out. But I have already shown so many people how they can escape the very same trap. People that you can see on the screen now, like David, like Todd, like Ramona. People like Jeff, like Derek, like Yurik. These were business people, high-level professionals, and they wanted a different way to get control of their drinking quickly. Many of these people now are 3, 4, 5 years without a drink. They're some of my long-term clients, and they're free. If I could do it, if they could do it, why can't you? Well, you can do it. And you've got two options. You can do this on your own if you want to. And can you do it on your own? Yes. But why struggle alone? I mean, the chances are is that if you could have stopped drinking totally alone without any help whatsoever, you'd have probably already stopped drinking. Because if you want help, if you want to do it together, if you want to do it in a quicker way, in a way that has a much higher chance of you actually succeeding, then I have good news. My approach has been scientifically validated. It gets a 96% client-rated success rate, and it's even had people get results in under 24 hours. If you go to Google Scholar and you search Sober Clear System, you'll find this academic report here. And this system is what I can take you through. I can do it with you one-on-one, where we work together. And if you want to apply to work with me, then just go ahead down below, click the link, fill in an application, and then you can schedule a free call. We can jump on a very short call together and really just figure out if working together could be a good match. It's a free call, you've got nothing to lose, it's what all those people I've just shown you did. I've done thousands of these conversations over the years. It's totally free, you've got nothing to lose, so go ahead, click the link in the description, book one of those calls, and I'll speak with you soon.